I don't have cats. Cats are evil.
Burn.
Cat
Burn.
evil. What? Those typos are part of my personality.
I know, that's what I love.
If I didn't have that, how would you know it was me? What? Oh, Stealth Live. What?
Should I put clothes on? Hi.
Hi. Hi.
That's it. There's only one of us.
Go, Joseph, go.
Hey, my name is Joseph. I enjoy the color purple, not the book or the film. And I've had a Nintendo Entertainment System console. I had, actually, great story before you guys get on to introducing yourselves. I was gifted the NES during the New York City soft launch from a second cousin once removed on New Year's Eve.
No way.
That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say.
Back to that. We're not leaving that alone. Speaking of which, I'm Sean Buckley. I am probably the biggest Nintendo apologist on staff. I will defend this company against all moral right to defend it. Anyway, I'm Sean. I used to have a podcast about Nintendo, and now I work for Engadget. Hello.
And I've never had a podcast about Nintendo. My name is Jessica. Jessica Condit. I'm senior reporter for Engadget. And no, I grew up with Nintendo. That's, I mean, my first gaming system, NES, playing a lot of that with my grandma and grandpa. He played as well, but grandma was better. And yeah, so I am lifelong embedded in this world. And we gather here for a solemn stream full of fun and memories.
Yeah, today's theme is all about enjoying video games, which is what Satoru Iwata was all about. And I don't know about you guys, but I cried. I cried when I heard the news. I did. I wasn't like weeping. I didn't like wet my shirt. But I definitely was was broken up over it. He's a rare man in this industry.
Yeah, I wonder, like, how did you guys find out? Like, were you just scrolling the web? Like, what was up? Yeah.
I never separate from Twitter. It's sad, but, you know, news junkie. Mm-hmm. And I saw the news as soon as it hit. And I went into, like, a weird state of shock. Like, I had to reread the tweet several times. I was like, no, that's not true. No. And then I think the first thing I did was, like, I pinged Timothy. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. You did. That was very nice.
That's interesting. Yeah. What about you, Sean?
It was the same with me. I was doing like chores or something. I was on earlier in the day, and then I disappeared to do non-internet things, and I checked my phone to like change songs on Spotify, and then like Twitter popped up and was going crazy, and it was just sort of like sitting in shock for like an hour, talking with like I have my little gaming chat group of friends, and it was just kind of weird and shocking. Eventually, I settled into wanting to do something, so I joined like the droves of people on Twitter who were just kind of like doing fan art.
Mm-hmm.
You know, put on the Earthbound soundtrack and just fan art it up.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, you did a really great. You should share that, Sean. The one of Iwata as Kirby. It's beautiful.
Oh, I haven't seen. Yeah, I'd like to see that too.
Yeah, let me find it and I'll drop it in the chat real quick.
Cool. If not, then you can send it to me in Skype and I will put it in the chat for everyone to see.
I'll put it to you on Skype.
Yeah. Dick pic.
Yeah, I mean,
gifts of turtles snapping rats' heads off, perchance, Timothy.
It's
dead goat heads, you know.
It's a two-headed cow.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Oh, that's adorable. Okay, I'm looking at it now. I'll drop the link in.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I actually I found out not online, which, like, how do you even get information not online, right?
That's kind of, yeah, tell me this, that's really rare and weird.
Were you walking in Times Square and saw a billboard? How do you get news?
Yeah, well, considering I live in Phoenix, no to the last one. No, it was from an actual living human. I was hanging out in my house, and my boyfriend walked in. I think he was out somewhere. He came in, and he's like, "Oh, so you saw the news about Nintendo, right?" And I was like, "No, what are you talking about?" And he's like, "Well, no, their president died." And I was like, I did the same thing as you, Joseph. I was like, that's not true.
Yeah.
Like, no, you just said those words, but that can't be right. You know? So yeah, then I immediately went to Twitter, and there it was, and it was like shock. And then my second thought was, oh, this needs to be on the site, and it already was.
Yes.
But
God, don't you hate that about what we do?
Yes.
That we process human emotion and immediately go, this needs to get on the site.
Yeah, how can I write about this?
Right.
It's little like this horrible thought that you have to have is I need to. It's like you're busy processing this, and if it's news that affects you in a major way like this, you're like, now I have to. It's not even like I need to get this up on the site. It's like now I have to write about this while I'm dealing with it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and that's not something I want to do.
Mm-mm. I do. I don't know about you, Timothy.
Oh! Well, it's not like we have obits ready to go, like
Sure.
the New York Times would. Yeah.
Right. And this was a surprise anyway, so
Yeah.
There was that woman. I don't know if you guys have ever watched Page One, that documentary about the New York Times, but there's that woman, and she gets laid off, and she tells the story of how she worked in obits for, like, I don't know, 30 years or 40 years, and that's got to be a grim job.
yeah. Well, or you can see it as a celebration. You know, like you are really collecting the best parts of people's lives.
That's true.
And
It's like a
putting
biographer.
Yeah,
It depends on what it is. I mean, in some ways, yeah, it's there's this cool challenge of making it celebratory and exciting, but I think what the grim part is, you're writing it years before they're even dead. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
What is that? I don't know this one.
No? But wait, do you even know what the power pad is, Jess?
No.
Okay, so the power pad was this, think of like Twister, you know?
Yeah, Twister.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I had
Remember-
a DDR mat. You just have to say that.
Oh, okay.
It's like a DDR mat with like 17 touch points.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I've
4.
seen these. Okay.
You could have 4.
You didn't have 3 friends. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Nope. You mean kind of like when I begged and pleaded for a Teddy Ruxpin, and then I watched Chucky, and then my brother could take a hammer to Teddy Ruxpin?
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Rude.
Is that too dark for this stream?
No. No.
Okay. Dude, I remember my aunt. Remember, I don't know if anyone remembers Jaws the game. It was incredibly difficult, and I never bothered with it. But I would come home from school, and for some reason our NES was at my grandparents' around the block, and my aunt, who was in college at the time, she would have Band-Aids on her thumbs because she would have been playing it all. She was obsessed, and this is not a woman who enjoys video games. But that game, to this day, she talks about this.
How funny.
Yeah, no, it was crap, but she was so good at it. I don't know, it's a really weird thing.
I think it's you.
I bet it's Timothy.
Yeah, I think it's Tim's the one they can't hear because I've got the audio on right now and it's completely silent.
Oh, there you go. All right. Yeah, we're figuring that out, guys. Let us know if you know Timothy's voice. If you aren't hearing it, we're trying to fix it.
Yeah, I think it's definitely Tim. I can hear Joseph on the chat. I can hear Jess on the chat.
Okay, cool.
I mean, technology's
Stop being
hard.
Rook and Tim.
It's got to be OBS. Yeah, it's not picking up your own mic. We'll fix that.
Can you
Okay.
hear Timothy chat?
Let us know if you can hear Timothy. Type in the chat, Tim in all caps. That's TIM.
Hold on a second. I'm trying to mute Skype so I can listen to the chat to figure out if this is working.
Yeah. Welcome to Jinx Stick, everyone. That should be our like theme, our motto. Put some jank in your day.
Put some jank on it.
Get your daily dose of jank on Joystick's Twitch.
Still quiet. He's still quiet.
Says can't hear him.
He's switching mics, everyone. Just give him a minute.
Switching mics.
He's switching mics.
What did he say that everyone missed?
Everything he said.
Oh,
that everyone
he talked about how he was given the power pad as a gift,
Power.
and then his parents wouldn't let him use it, which is like, ew, Timothy's parents.
Ugh.
Not
Rude.
cool. Seriously.
That's a power pad tease.
Dude,
this
it's
better?
like
Is this better?
I don't know.
Sounds great to me.
You
Chat.
sounds
Alright.
good.
Alright.
Chat, say Tim. Say Tim Bracco lie.
If you hear him.
Yeah, if you can hear him.
Everything. Everything? They say?
You're
Well, and
Everything.
Tim is the one playing Ocarina of Time right now, too.
so it's imperative that you can
Oh
hear
yeah, he's on. He's on now. He's on now.
Oh,
Yeah!
yay!
I heard he
Yay!
is this better, so that was fine.
Everyone,
Awesome.
meet our ghost. His name is Timothy.
Yes, sometimes also known as Tim. So, glad that everybody can finally hear me.
Yay!
I need
We
to,
recapped your power pad story, so
Yeah.
Yeah, my dick parents would let me, like, they brought home the Power Pad bundle, and I had to watch them through a hole in the roof, essentially.
Wait, what's a rough?
What?
Oh
Wait,
God, Michigan accent's coming out.
There's roof, wafer, wafer. We all understand accents, but you're saying you had to watch your parents play the power pad without you?
Yeah, wait, what do you mean? Watch
Yeah,
your
I
parents-
had to. So, to recap my story a little bit, there was a vent in the floor of my bedroom, and it had a grate over it, and like I could look down and I could see through into the dining room and into the living room from that vent. It's about 1 by 1. But yeah, so the thing is, oh God, what did I just do? So the thing is I was watching them after they unboxed it and they had everything all set up, and I could not play, but I couldn't go downstairs. I just remember just seeing the look of happiness on their face while they were playing, and I was like, this is really cool, and
Well, you
I
know
want to
what?
be happy.
That's awful.
That just goes to show you that Nintendo, the power of Nintendo's spanned all generations, going all the way back in the day, even to your terrible parents.
Oh,
Wow.
Taking fun
It
away
got
from you.
it got real.
You call them dick parents,
Dick,
so...
that is immortalized. I could send this to your parents if I knew who they were, and you'd be in trouble, sir.
All right, why can't? Okay, there we go. It's trying to teach me how to use Z targeting. I'm not used to using the Wii U gamepad for N64 games, so I don't know what this wants me to do.
Well, Z targeting should be the left trigger.
Yeah.
And the C buttons are what's a nightmare because I think they're the right stick.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's hard to use. It takes some getting used to.
I'm trying.
You guys,
You can't attack. You don't have a sword. Go in the hole and get the sword.
All right, how do I crouch down?
In the hole.
Dude, like that's the thing is these controls aren't. I grew up playing this on N64, so I have no idea what the controls are for
All right,
this.
you can find out. Press the virtual console button.
You know, I'm
Make the menu come up.
Just hearing
And
Oh, did you see this in the chat?
I'm at the virtual.
So my buddy.
There's a configuration. Sorry, Jess.
What? I'm just reading chat stories. It's really sweet.
Go, read the stories. Tim, figure it out.
What did I just do? Did I break something? Oh my god, I think I broke something.
That's okay. We'll just watch you fail and laugh a little
Oh
later.
god, I broke a lot of things.
So Duke in the chat says, my buddy's grandma played Zelda 1 and recorded her whole walkthrough on VHS for us to follow.
Whoa.
Oh my god.
That is
amazing.
awesome. That
Do
is
you
really
have
cool.
that VHS? Can you put it on DVD? And can I watch it?
Dude, my grandmother on my father's side recorded Full House on VHS. Yes. Okay, that was also awesome, and we would steal those cassette tapes. But she was like way too obsessed with Michelle Tanner. I'm like, wait.
Oh, that's not okay.
What did you do?
I know,
I'm trying to figure this crap
He
out.
404'd the Wii U.
How did you 404 the Wii U?
What are you doing? There you go. There you go. Controller
Yeah.
settings. This is what you want.
I still.
This will tell you, and you can remap it.
Oh, this is the worst.
Oh, the L and R are okay. They're wrong. They're always wrong.
Yeah, I don't know how to do this, guys. I'm real bad at video games.
Okay. Okay.
I don't see the
I'm really
Z trigger
bad at video
here.
games. That's
That's
going
the
on your
gaming reporter. Yes.
bio.
Okay. All right. So that should okay. So ZL should be the Z button. All right. Let's see if I can figure this out.
Can you use the touchscreen at all? I wonder.
No, it's just mirroring the output. Like I can't figure out how to crouch. That's the. Oh, there we go. Yay!
Crouching.
I assume the stream's ahead of us. This screen though that's on the stream for us right now is the button assignments thing, and I heard so there was the Nintendo World Championships, and they kept seemingly accidentally going to this screen. A couple of them went in there to change the button assignments, and apparently they almost got disqualified from that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, like they like changed the buttons because the default buttons for some of the virtual console games are like the triggers, which your fingers more naturally fall on. Open the menu and it's a nightmare. So a lot of people change it by default. And like they went in to do that during the tournament,
God.
and apparently later on Twitter they were like, yeah, they yelled at us later for that and said we were almost disqualified.
Whew.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, they were strict.
I think I just went into a big circle.
Don't get run over.
I won't. I've been struck many times though.
Okay. Oh, we have another cool story in the chat.
Yay.
Okay, Boa Transistor. I remember a snow day with my grandmother playing Illusion of Gaia, and we were both bad at it and had to call the Nintendo Power Line 900 number
Oh my
to
God.
find
God.
out how to beat the boss with 2 hands and a head coming out of the floor.
Yes.
If you remember that boss, I certainly don't.
I never called that number. I almost did once and I got yelled at.
I got a lashing.
Because you called it?
My brother and I, because we called it more than 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 times.
Oh wow. Wow.
Well, it was summer vacation, and we were just like, oh my god, what do we do? And I was like, call the number.
Call it.
You must have cost your parents like $80.
Oh, I don't know how much it was, but we got in so much trouble. A recurring thing in the Volpe household growing up was either the Nintendo NES power cord would be taken away and hidden, the console would be taken away and hidden, the games would be taken away and hidden, the controllers, and every time my older brother and I would find them. And then my father would lose his mind. And he'd be like, one time he stuffed, I'll never forget this, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out in a brand new pair of running shoes that were still in the shoebox, hidden in a corner of their closet, and I found it. And he was like, "What even made you think to look in there?" And I was like, "Sometimes I just know, Dad."
Oh, hold on one second, guys. I have a knock at the door. So
Go ahead.
yes, I need to take care of this.
I can relate to that, but I was too afraid to go looking. So once I have this very traumatizing memory, not to speak ill of my dear sweet mother. But I had like a bad report card come in, and she just like looked at it and like had this look of fury and stormed into my room and grabbed every piece of electronics and just ripped them out of the wall. No care for destroying things and knocking them over, and they were gone for a year. Just gone.
Oh man.
Yeah. So I had like it was until like my next birthday when I convinced her to take them down so we could have them for the party. Like, but until that, for like the 8 months or a year in that time, all I had was the clock radio. That's all. Because I was getting bad grades.
Damn, Sean.
So-
your parents
so-
were for real.
She was brutal. Once she threw a video game out. We were in the car fighting over a handheld Tiger tennis game, and she didn't want us fighting. She said, "I'm gonna throw it out the window if you don't stop fighting." And we didn't. Out the window, gone.
Well, she made the right choice. It was a
So-
tight hand.
So I have a story about grades and Ocarina of Time, actually. So when I was a younger person, Ocarina of Time came out my freshman year of high school. So it was 1998, 1999, somewhere around there. And I got it for Valentine's Day from my parents.
Weird.
Okay.
Yeah,
Did you get it for them or from them?
I got it from them.
Okay, that makes more sense. It sounded like you gave it to your parents.
No,
for
no,
Valentine's Day.
no, we aren't that type of family. But I remember just that this game, I also had gotten the internet at that time because internet wasn't a general thing that just everybody had. We had gotten AOL. We had a subscription to America Online, the company I now work for. And like they were like, so the first marking period, the grades came out and they were like, "You're not doing so well, Tim." And it was because I was spending all of my time playing Ocarina of Time. They're like, "I think we need to take away the internet." And I was like, "That's okay. I have Ocarina of Time. That's fine." But yeah, Ocarina of Time, it probably caused me to get very poor grades in second semester algebra in high school. Yes.
I never, like, my mom never threatened to take away video games from me.
Oh, I lost music,
Or
I lost
any
video games,
electronics.
everything.
She sounds like a saint, Jess.
No, I just got really good grades.
I
Oh,
did too, but my
oh, way to rub it in! Oh my god.
Listen, I did too, but my parents they were obsessed with being like, "It's rotting your brains when you a couch potato," and I'd be like, "No."
Do they really have that accent?
No, they have much heavier Brooklyn accent.
Oh, okay. Good.
See, my mom didn't like me going out, though. So, like, if it kept me in the house, it was kind of okay, you know?
See, that's the other thing too. My parents were like, my parents
Yeah.
were super like. I was very sheltered as a kid. Like they didn't want me even leaving the front yard. It's like, oh, okay.
Oh my god, you
Yikes.
guys!
Yeah, my
I
mom
was
didn't
allowed-
care. We played in the street.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was allowed to go anywhere and everywhere so long as I was back in time for dinner,
Nope.
which was like 9 p.m. every night. So
Wow.
Oh, that's right. You do dinner at the right time.
yes.
Yeah.
I grew up with, like, 5 p.m. dinner.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
always
what?
wondered what you do after 5 p.m. when you're hungry.
Yeah, that's a thing. Like we always
But
ate
you're not
really
hungry.
late too.
No.
It's
I'm-
after dinner.
I'm hungry
Yeah.
right now, Jess. I don't think you realize this.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's when you eat ice cream.
I'm lactose intolerant.
Dessert.
Yeah, dessert.
Ah,
Well,
Then you eat bananas. I don't know.
sorbet. Is
No.
that cream? I don't know.
yeah, sorbet's fine. Gelato isn't. I discovered this recently.
Wait, what's
Oh,
wrong
we're
with
talking about
gelato?
diets.
It's dairy based.
Oh, you
It-
mean for your okay?
Yes, for my itis.
I didn't say it. I
It's
stopped.
okay. It's okay. We'll just refer to it as my itis. I think that's a little
Video games. Now.
classy.
Yes, I was gonna say,
yeah,
so-
video games.
I think we weren't. I think we weren't streaming before when I told my Nintendo origin story.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go for it.
So I'll never forget. It was the '80s, and I was very little, and it was New Year's Eve, and we were having. I have a huge Sicilian family, so that year we happened to be hosting the party, which meant like there'd be like 40 to 50 people over, and you know, lots of very gaudy Italians wearing gold. And
Were there tracksuits?
what? No. We weren't. You know, we weren't tasteless like that.
Classy.
Yeah, we're very classy people, very proud, you know, prideful. Anyway, so it was a second cousin, once removed, if I'm getting that correct. I can never keep track of all that stuff. But much older woman with her own family, very well off. And, you know, I have an older sister, an older brother, and a younger brother. So they came over and they brought gifts. And there was one big box for me and my brothers, and then a smaller, more beautifully wrapped petite box for my sister. So my brothers and I tore into the box. Mind you, this is New Year's Eve. People don't bring gifts, okay? We tear it open, and it's this thing, and none of us were excited because we had no idea what the hell it was, and it was an NES. And this was 1985 when it soft launched in New York, right?
Oh.
So no one knew what the hell this thing was. And
So wait, was it the Rob bundle then? The robot?
no, we didn't get. I don't think we got Rob. I think so. Like my cousins. Oh my God, you're gonna laugh. Salvatore and Pasquale. They had it
Yes.
because they were the family that had it. We just got the console, and it was just funny. And they were like, I'll never forget. I'll just call them Sal and Pasqua. So the two of them just kept going on and on about how great this thing was, and we still didn't care. We were like, oh, whatever. Hook it up to the television. Is that a thing you can do? Who knows? And my poor sister, you guys, sexism in the 80s. She got a fiber optic flower in a plastic case.
Oh,
Who doesn't want
oh
one of
my
those?
God!
So here's the truth. I was so jealous.
So,
Well, at least you knew what that was.
yeah. Did you not know what you were getting?
No, we had no idea, and it wasn't until I remember we wound up playing. I think it was. What game did we play first? Balloon Fight or something? I don't remember. But
That's one Iwata created.
yeah, and I was like, oh, I like this. And then we immediately started fighting. Started fighting, and my parents were like, "What is this crap?" Ah. So that's my origin story for Nintendo.
That's beautiful, actually. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think like everybody has a Nintendo origin story. So Jess, what's yours?
Did I say this during the stream? I don't even remember.
See, that's
We're
the
so
problem with the
janky
jank.
today.
That's the problem with the jank.
Yeah, that's okay. I'll just tell it again if I already did. But no, it's really just playing a lot of video games with my grandma. And I'm really happy to actually see in the chat a bunch of other people saying, my grandma and I used to play this, on NES or Nintendo consoles. And
That's so unheard of to me. My grandparents were like offended by video games existing. somehow.
I wonder if it's an age thing. Because I think I'm younger than all of you people, by just a little bit, but just enough to make it so, my grandma knew what an NES was, and she was amazing at Tetris. That just happened.
Damn.
Yeah, so that's really where it started, and a lot of Duck Hunt and Dr. Mario and Super Mario Brothers with my cousins, and it was a family thing. It's never really stopped, I guess.
Oh man, I kind of envy that. Like my dad would play Zelda, the original Zelda, and nothing else. It's the only game he would ever play. And my mother died on the first Goomba of Mario Brothers and never touched a video game ever again.
Oh.
Huh.
So a few interesting things from chat. Duke, one of our regulars here, he says, "No kidding, that generation of grandmas were kick ass." and Chase Quirt, who I haven't seen before, says all my grandma does is yell 5 different nachos. I don't know what that is, but that's incredible.
That's a
5
good thing to
different
know.
nachos.
It answers
grandma
a lot
has-
of questions.
Well, she has excellent taste. You want a variety of nacho.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
Grandma, what do you want for dinner? 5 different nachos.
Okay,
What did you have for
we're.
dinner last night? 5 different nachos.
I had 4 different nachos last night.
What do you wash your hair with? 5 different natures.
Interesting choice, Grandma.
Why
She's a
can't-
funky grandma?
Oh,
I want to put her in political office.
The only other time my grandparents played video games, it's always been Nintendo. Interestingly enough, I think that's very telling. Was the very first NES, and they just didn't care. And then they had a really great night one night at my aunt's house playing the Wii, and we were playing bowling on Wii Sports, and they were giggling, and I was like, whoa, the power of motion control.
yeah, that's the thing. Is when I was growing up, my aunt, who now she's in her 60s now. When I was growing up, my aunt was super into Nintendo, and she played the crap. My aunt is the reason why I know the anguish of playing Castlevania 2: Simon's Quest.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and she was also super into Legend of Zelda. I have the gold cartridge for Legend of Zelda 2 somewhere.
Oh man.
Yeah, there was that. But my favorite thing growing up, the NES game that I kept always going back to was RC Pro-Am, which was my favorite. It was Yeah, it was really good. Not an Iwata game, but it was a rare game, and I would assume that he had something to do with saying, all right, yeah, you guys can publish this game on our system. Because there used to be the whole Nintendo approval thing where Nintendo had to approve everything. And there was only one game that wasn't approved. I think it was by JVC. Was it Manic Mansion or Maniac Mansion? I'm not sure.
Gosh.
Manic Mansion, yeah.
Yeah, that was the one game that was not a Nintendo approved game.
Huh.
Well, I remember the reason why Rare even got pulled into the fold is because they had reverse engineered Nintendo's encryption technology, and they were like, "Oh, we figured out how to break it." So Nintendo was like,
too.
"Yeah, yeah." Well, that was all really gross trickery.
I think you're right. Rare actually reverse engineered it, and that's why they got pulled in. Tengen just overrid it. They like sent a spike of electricity and freaked it out, so it didn't work.
And they also stole the encryption keys from the patent office.
Oh God.
Yeah, no, it was like a whole thing. If you read Game Over, I recommend it. It's a phenomenal read about Nintendo and their ascension, when they switched over from playing cards to NES and everything, and all the stuff with Howard Lincoln. Like, what a badass. Like, that was a badass era.
Howard Lincoln, for sure, man.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you probably all played and loved Earthbound, right?
I didn't play Earthbound.
I didn't either.
I thought I would be
the only... to get to it. It took me over a decade to get to that game. I had friends that loved that game, but I never it changed. Like, I know people who it changed their life. Like, it got them through the hardest points in their life, and it was like this whole thing. But they never let me borrow it because it was like it meant too much for them, and they wouldn't give it to me. And then and then I couldn't afford a copy because it was $100 in eBay, and then it was so until it was on a virtual console, I never beat it all the way through.
Yeah, I finally got it on Wii U, and I started playing. I got pretty far, and I was like, this is great.
I beat Mother 3 before I beat Earthbound.
That's impressive.
See, everybody says that one of the reasons why they liked Earthbound so much is because it was an RPG just about kids. There was no secret powers or anything like that. It was just you were a kid.
Right.
And, like, I could say that, to bring it back to something a little more modern, that's kind of what I like about South Park Stick of Truth, is because it's an RPG about kids. It's a little different, but they're all make-believing everything as they go, and they're farting on stuff and things like that, as opposed to like crazy magic spells.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
so it makes sense.
Isn't make-believe though? Well, I mean it is, but I see what you mean.
But I think that's the great thing, right, about Nintendo is that they don't need. And Sean had said this the other day in chat to me, and it was really just it hit the nail on the head. Nintendo has never bothered to be edgy for edgy's sake, right?
Right.
Like, they preserve and understand innocence and fun. And it's not necessarily wholesome, but there's just no need to take that extra step. And that really resonates with someone like me. I am anti-violence. I don't find killing in HD fun. You know what I mean? So...
Nintendo's for you, yeah. Absolutely.
It is, yeah.
That's your alternative to the AAA mainstream market, yeah.
It's kind of like what I actually said to you was a ripoff from a song lyric, but so edgy
Sean.
now. I know, but it was like Nintendo has this idea that it's perfectly fine to be a happy individual,
Yeah.
Like that's like something that's kind of unique to them. It's like that is also part of why they get this backlash, I think, in some ways, because like they don't need to be edgy. They're not about being violent. It's like, look at this game. It's super happy and fun, and it looks childish, but it's for everybody. And the idea that it's for everybody. And now I'm getting to my other fandom, so watch out. It's kind of like Disneyland was designed for the same thing. It was designed to be a park that was for children and adults, and it doesn't matter that it's silly and childish because it's okay to be an adult that likes fun things. You don't have to be serious all the time.
Like Hello Kitty.
Yeah, like
yes. Yes. Although I will tell you, Sean, there's a really interesting read in LA Times. You mentioned Disneyland. I'm just going to throw this out there about this man, a gentleman. I think he's in his 50s, and he likes to go to Disneyland all by himself. And it's about his experience going all the time by himself, and it's not endearing.
No. Well, that sounds creepy the way you said it.
Yeah, Joseph, way to set that up.
You're welcome. All right. But back to Nintendo.
Don't ruin Disneyland for me. Don't.
No, but Nintendo, like that's what they do, and they've never apologized for being weird. I mean, Iwata's famous saying, "Please understand." It was never an apology. It was never a sorry, we're making a game that doesn't have the crazy cool graphics you're looking for. It was, please understand this is what we're doing. Like,
Right.
It was just there. And guess what? Most of the time it works. Most of the time it does so well, and it hits that sweet spot that a lot of us don't even realize that we have a void in our lives of happy, fun games until we play like Kirby or something.
Well, I think it's important that you bring up the "please understand" phrase he always used, because what's underlying that is we have a philosophy, and we are trying to communicate it to you. And I think what Nintendo has failed at, if anything we can criticize them for, is really not figuring out with their marketing team how to translate their philosophy about fun and gaming, and especially that Japanese mentality, to the other audiences in the Western world, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know, this is sort of a little off topic, but like the Japanese mentality is a thing that can be difficult to understand. So Splatoon recently had the Splatfest, and was in America, and a lot of people were very upset about it because the scoring was half popularity contest, half scoring contest,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
And people were very upset. It's like, well, you know, dogs only won because more people voted for dogs, you know? And I'm like, well, that might be a little Japanese, you know? And someone I was talking to didn't understand what I meant. It's like, okay, well, there's this book you should check out, not because I'm saying it, but because it's really interesting, called You Gotta Have Law, and it's about Japanese baseball, and it explains that a big part of the, you know, Japanese sporting is fighting spirit. And so fighting spirit can override performance in some Japanese sports sometimes. And that's kind of how I saw it.
Also, like, who was on Team Cat? Gross.
Seriously, unloyal, mean.
Yeah,
You went on the couch all the time.
In Canada, they had like team. I think it was like Team Roller Coaster and Team.
That's the new one that's coming up. It's roller coaster versus water slides. But
That's it. Yeah.
in Europe, it was rock versus pop, which I thought was way more interesting.
Yes, that one I read about, and I was a little annoyed.
Have you noticed that all the Japanese Splatfests have been about food? Rice versus bread, and then like this flavor ramen versus that flavor ramen?
I
No,
don't
but
know what
that's
any of you
adorable.
guys are talking about.
Have you not gotten Splatoon yet, Timothy?
I'm waiting to purchase this until I get paid next week.
Ugh, money.
I
Yeah,
know.
money. I mean, I could
What's
talk
that?
about I could talk about FIFA a little bit because I played that, but that would be entirely off topic.
No.
And only one person would appreciate that, and that'd be Edgar.
So let's start with Jess here. Jess, what would you say is your favorite Nintendo game with Iwata's involvement?
Oh my gosh. Okay, with his involvement. Well, I mean, so that could be anything from what, GameCube on, basically, or
Yes,
or do you?
yeah.
Okay, let's see.
Or anything that he did at HAL, of course.
Of course. See, so I never played Earthbound. I never really played like the early games. Maybe the first game I played on GameCube was a little bit of Animal Crossing with my cousin, just a little bit. But honestly, probably Ocarina of Time. Like, I have to say, what we're playing right now is one of the first games I ever finished by myself, like without my brother, you know, over my shoulder or anything. And it was my first Zelda game, and obviously Zelda's a huge franchise just in the industry, and it kind of helped me realize that these games are really hard. It helped me realize that I wasn't a failure for like not finishing them, because everyone, like no one can finish them without some help, and that really, you know, that helped me a lot, because for a while I thought I was just really bad at video games, and hey, I'm bad at a lot of video games, but yeah, I think Ocarina of Time has to be my pick. So I'm glad we're playing it.
I just bounced off this Sculptula onto where I needed to go, and it was fantastic.
Very smooth.
Yes.
What about you, Tim?
Mine, it'd have to be Wind Waker, which is what we're playing tomorrow.
Yes, we are.
I really, I liked that game from the moment I saw it. I was not part of the legions of people saying, "Oh, we need a mature Link. We need the Zelda from the Space World demos." No, I was way into the idea of the cel shaded Legend of Zelda because I liked just For me, that game, it totally captured the innocence of childhood really well. Especially when you look at something like the HD collection, or the HD version, when you can see it in, with better graphics and whatnot. It really, really, really did a good job of just nailing the sense of childhood, of wonder, and just imagination really well. Like, you can look and see, like, I always did that, is I would just pan the camera around. There was so much stuff that you could just base off of Link's expressions, and his eyes especially. Like, his eyes would look where you would need to go if you got stuck.
They still have not been able to even achieve, I think, that level of animation with Link since, in my opinion.
Yeah, he runs around like he runs around like a little kid, and it looks great. Like, he runs around like a toddler, which is what he should do, because that's how old he is in the game. It's great. I really, 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 really love that game to pieces. It's beautiful, and I was super happy for the HD remake. The audio is crappy, but that's just a Nintendo thing. But the game looks really, really, really pretty, and I really like it. That's my game.
I've never played that one. So.
That game, I remember it was one of the rare games that everyone was upset about it, but I was excited for it because I had a thing for cel-shaded, cartoony-looking graphics at the time, so much so that I bought a Dreamcast just for Jet Set Radio because I wanted to experience that visual style.
Wow.
You made a smart move also because the Dreamcast was awesome.
It was incredible.
What about you, Sean?
It's hard to say with Iwata because although like I love Earthbound and I appreciate the work he did on that, I keep wondering, do I love Earthbound because of Iwata's contribution or because of how it was written and the story? And he wasn't the story man. He made the game great. He made the game a solid RPG on the programming side. But I think what did Iwata directly do that I experienced more? And he did Balloon Fight, and I love the gameplay in Balloon Fight. So out of all the games he worked on, Earthbound's probably my favorite, but the one where his work personally had the most influence on my fun, probably Balloon Fight, just because, that simple joust kind of game always resonated with me quite a lot. And I guess this is cheap Melee, because he did the debugging on Melee, and that was like everybody's game in high school.
Well, that's a great game. Yeah. And so wait, tell the story behind that a little, because I don't know if everyone knows it.
I didn't learn this until recently, but it came out, and apparently it was in an interview a little while ago. Like he came into he was a director of a corporate product at the time. He wasn't CEO yet, and he was just coming in and checking up on Melee, and they're like, well, the game's doing good, but we're not going to ship on time. We're behind schedule, and he basically just takes off his jacket. He's like, I am here to help, and he just debugs.
Oh, that is awesome. There's a really good story.
Badass.
Such a Superman story.
Right. Well, I allow. Maybe he didn't take off his jacket.
It's like he probably goes. He probably goes. Please understand. I'm going to make sure this game ships on time.
Right. So he added an extra man to their team when he didn't have to. It wasn't his job, but he was going to make sure the game was going to ship on time and it was going to be great. So he was out there squashing bugs, going above the Call of Duty to make sure the game's out there for us.
That's such a cool story.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And it just kind of shows, and like that attitude, it's like, he didn't seem like a normal CEO. He just seemed like this friendly guy that actually was passionate about it. And maybe it was the Japanese attitude, but he doesn't fit the stereotypes I know for Japanese, businessmen and CEOs either.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Joseph, which game of his do you enjoy the most?
I mean, going all the way back to what I said before, probably if we're talking like strictly what he created in a sense, it would have to be Balloon Fight. Simply because I can still play that now and have a great time, and I think a big issue for me with games is if I can't pick up and play immediately and like know what I'm doing within 2 minutes, I really am not interested. Like most of us do not have the time anymore for that stuff, and I just don't want to set aside all that time to learn the button schemes and whatnot. But that one, because it's nostalgic, but I'm going to veer off course and say that probably I'm really excited that he brought the DS into the world.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because
that's fair.
Yeah, I remember reading about it when it was Project Nitro.
What?
That's right. That's definitely.
Yeah, and I remember being like, what is this thing? And all these like rumors would be like, it reimagines the way that you'll interact with video games. In my mind, I was, I went off in so many different directions. And I remember when it was finally unveiled, all the people I worked with, they were all like, they were all like PlayStation stands, so they were like,
yeah,
PlayStation's amazing, Nintendo's crap, what is
get Get a PSP.
Get a PS, and I never forget this guy I worked with. He came over and he was so haughty, and he was like, "Enjoy that toy. The PSP is gonna destroy it." And I remember being like, "You clearly don't understand gaming and what constitutes fun." And I bought it, and then we know the rest is history. The PSP was a footnote, and the DS went on to dominate a category.
Now, how many UMD games did you have, or UMD movies did you have, Joseph?
So I never bought the PSP in that first generation, like in its first revision. I waited until like several years later, and then I don't think I ever bought. I don't think I ever bought like a physical game for it. I think I just straight went for downloads.
Okay, well that explains a lot, like, because I know you really are into downloadable games, and even with your Nintendo games, you buy a physical copy and a downloaded copy of every game Nintendo puts out.
This is very true. I have every Nintendo first party, and I'm including Bayonetta 2 in this and whatnot. I have everything physical. Yes, and some of them are not the wrapping, whatever you call it, the shrink wrap is still on it, because I know. Listen, I remember them from my GameCube days. I had Donkey Kong Jungle Beat with the bongos, people. Yes. Okay, like I'm so angry that I had to sell that system in my games, because now it is the preeminent game for speedrunners. I mean, system for speedrunners. Those systems are so expensive. Those games are so hard to find. Like, try finding the first Pikmin. Just try. You're not gonna find it. And
you had it?
I had it. I had everything. I had Killer 7.
No, Killer 7.
I love that game.
I think Jess is very excited at this point. She's in a whisper.
I mean, you guys, I had Eternal Darkness. I used to have to stop playing
Eternal
at
Darkness.
Night. I would have to stop playing at night because I would get so freaked out. Okay?
Oh yeah, the game was.
The Chozo Ghost in Metroid Prime. I would stop playing. I would stop playing. Okay, so.
That's fun.
Yeah,
so guys, I'm having this problem where I don't know where to go next. I have the map. I have the compass. I have the Deku stick. I have the slingshot. And I've jumped down and I just bounced into the center hole.
Welcome to Ocarina of Time, man.
You didn't go through the.
Oh, there we go. There we go. I got it now. I wasn't high enough.
Yeah, you weren't.
to break through this.
Womp womp.
I've almost forgotten that you're playing a game.
Right? I know we're just talking. I'm just watching.
I think I'm the only one watching the stream here.
I'm totally watching. I forgot it was Timothy, though.
Just like, I'm on Twitch during work, whatever, no big deal, just shooting the crap.
Hey,
and it's like, oh, wait, video games are happening. Yeah.
Yep.
Do you guys think with talking about NX, just real quickly, I'm watching the stream on my TV for the Xbox One, which I think is hysterical.
Yes.
Do you think Nintendo's going to finally sort of accept streaming and put those apps, build them in natively to the NX?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a whole thing that's going to happen where you're trying to figure out how Nintendo is going to adapt to the new console market, right?
Right.
Where it's even weird now. The reason why we got a little bit of a late start today is because the streaming doesn't work super well through Macs, because for whatever reason, the Wii U puts an undue amount of pressure on your computer that you're using to stream. So we're streaming on a PC now. Jess was originally going to do the stream, and I'm doing the stream. I'm hosting the stream now. For a reason such as that, because we couldn't get it to work right. So I would hope that the NX has streaming capabilities built directly in, but I'm not holding my breath, especially based on how Nintendo does things.
Yeah, from what I've read about Nintendo, someone had this great explanation once, like, why isn't Nintendo doing these things that would make sense? And someone explained it's a kind of Japanese business practice that requires a decision by committee to be completely universal. So if even one person in the committee doesn't understand what the technology is, they can veto the whole thing.
Sure.
So if you got one old guy that is like, what's streaming? I'm not going to do that. The whole thing's dead, And
I
so
hope that person wouldn't be on the board, though.
Well, fortunately.
I know. Sadly, I know that's a little naive, but it's like, if they're gonna launch a console this quickly after the Wii U, and almost as if they're trying to, bury the Wii U under the rug at this point, like, it seems like that, the way that they're talking about a console more than a year before they even officially announce it. That's not what
true.
Nintendo does.
I know
Right.
it's true.
So I feel like they're already starting on a different foot with this one. Like they're really pushing to be like to maybe catch up with some of these technological limitations that they've faced in the past.
Well, I read,
They kind of painted themselves into a corner.
Well, the NX, they weren't supposed to announce it, from what I read. It was, I think Iwata announced it, right? And he had a statement about that later on.
Yes.
And he said, well, I had to announce the mobile partnership was going to come out no matter what, because it was in the investor meeting, and if I didn't say something about a new home console, people were going to think we were abandoning hardware, and I didn't want them to think that. And so, and then he was like, that's why you're not hearing anything about it until next year, because technically it's not announced. We just said it so you wouldn't freak out.
But
They've never worried about that before, though.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
I'm with Jess on this. I understand what he's saying there, but to me, that's his, media people coming and saying, "Here's how you spin this news," because they need to get the message out now. I mean, look, as much as I wish the Wii U weren't dead, I think everyone on this call, maybe not Timothy, but Sean, Jess, myself, we all prefer the Wii U over all the other gaming systems available in the current generation. And
I would say you're accurate. I like my PS4, but still I play my Xbox 360 and PS3 more than I do my new consoles.
Okay.
So that's just me.
yeah, but I mean, the three of us, we really appreciate it. And as much as I don't want it to be dead, at a certain point, you cannot change the narrative. And the narrative has been that it's outdated, backwards, and not worth the investment.
Oh,
Right?
it's so
Cost,
sad.
I know, cost prohibitive. So what do you do when you're a corporation of that size, right? You have to move on.
Yeah, and they are. And
They are.
that makes sense to me.
I think it's smart. I mean, look at Microsoft did the same thing with the Xbox. They got rid of the Xbox after 4 years.
That was the first big generation, though. I think that was the start of a new cycle to me. So.
And they
So I
had to
don't
get they had to get the jump on. You have to all put the things in context of the time, right? Like PS2 was gearing up to be this. I'm sorry, not PS2. PS3 was gearing up to be this juggernaut of a system that was going to basically run our entire lives, right?
Right,
I mean,
yeah.
Sony's marketing back then was full of so much caca, and it really was. They just said anything. They were like, and like if you leave it in a corner, it'll make gnomes and Ferraris. And everybody was like, that's great, I'm not going to buy anything else.
He's not wrong. They were like, it's going to run the government. You put 10 together, they're a supercomputer.
Right? Well,
Yeah,
They were, but...
but Saddam Hussein is the one that ended up doing that, and we know how that worked out.
Well, all right, as far as the Nintendo Wii U ducking out early, Joseph, can I talk about my theory, or are we holding on to that?
no, you can go ahead.
My
I
theory,
mean, just
so
so everybody knows, just to context, I'm not going to go on and say what you're going to say. Not Timothy, sorry, Sean, Jess, and I are working on a piece about the Wii U that you should see later this week. And we may touch upon a couple of those points, but I believe this is from that, correct, Sean?
Yeah, this is from that. But I've had this opinion for a long time. Well, not opinion, this thought, and I don't know if it's true, but the NX makes me think about it, is the Wii U seems to be ducking out early for what Sony calls a 10-year console cycle. But I've always wondered if that's intentional. They launched early. Their system was underpowered. What if they didn't intend to compete with the PS4 and the Xbox One for the entire life cycle? It seemed to me that Nintendo was mean, like, we're having this underpowered console. At launch, it's going to have better looking games than the Xbox 360 because it's more powerful. But when the PS4 and Xbox One launch, they won't be as powerful. And so maybe we'll be able to optimize it and keep pace with them for a couple of years. But then, halfway through their cycle, we'll announce and release another system that's more powerful than their systems. And we'll be releasing systems on the off years.
So I think the strategy of the off-cycle years is dead on, but I think where it pertains to them even caring about anything Sony or Microsoft does is incorrect. Because, I mean, don't you remember they made those comments where they were like, no, we've never looked at Skyrim or Halo.
Yeah, like when people complained about the online stuff, it's like, well, we didn't look at the competing consoles' online stuff, so we don't know what they have.
Right.
We just made up our own stuff, and that's why it's awful.
Oh, Nintendo.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what the problem was? I would love to have gone into Nintendo headquarters, NCL, in Kyoto, and baby shake everybody and be like,
Oh wow!
what is this blue ocean
That's right.
caca? Just get rid of it. I don't need my grandparents to play anymore. Forget about them, okay? They want to buy a Cadillac. Go to Florida. Leave them alone.
See, okay. So we're talking a lot about like Nintendo as a company and how weird they are to us, Westerners at least. But Iwata, I think someone mentioned earlier, did seem like a super different kind of CEO.
Yes.
And I wonder now, because we have these huge, these legends of the gaming industry. Iwata was a living legend, and we have like Hideo Kojima, and we have what's his face? We interviewed him at E3.
Aonuma.
Aonuma? Okay, we didn't interview him, but yes.
Oh, no, that was the one me and Joseph interviewed. That was 2 years ago.
Are you talking about Metroid?
Yes, I am.
Tanabe.
Tanabe, and Mega Man creator Keiji Inafune.
Yes!
There we go. So, like, we have these living legends. And I wonder if these people who really innovated the entire industry, because it was in its infancy when they were making games, like, are these going to be figures that we have in the future? Like, are there developers alive and working right now that we are going to revere as much as someone like Iwata? I wonder.
I think I would say third thought I had when I read the news and went into shock and then pinged Timothy and I was like, hey, write this. My third thought was, and I'm not kidding you, PlayStation's Shuhei Yoshida, who heads up Worldwide Studios.
Oh, yeah.
My thought was, he is the only equivalent figure I could think of that could fill a role like Iwata, where he has that innocence and that childlike quality and that joy and that approachability and that warmth around video games, right? And a desire to take a different approach. And, I know it would never happen, but I was having a little daydream where I was like, maybe Shu could take over.
Oh my god.
That would be incredible.
That made me so excited.
They need that because he understands both markets so well.
Yes. Yes.
I hope they're already like trying to get him over there.
Whoa! Wow! Whoa, guys!
If I could, I would ping him and be like, we got this great idea.
Yeah, we'll take 10% if you take it.
I might have his business card somewhere.
Do it.
Joseph, you've spoken to him before. Like, you spoke to him at length at E3. You guys should be boys now and be like, yo!
Listen, he follows me on Twitter. I was going to... Last night, he tweeted, because he's an adorable man, Shu.
Oh, he's so great.
He had pre-ordered Galaxy from, like, the
Yes.
PlayStation Store Play promotion, and he was like, look at this amazing theme I got for pre-ordering. And it was adorable. And so then I was like, what is Galaxy? So I did, like, a Google search. But I had the thought where I was like, what if I just DM him? And I'm like, just throwing this out there.
Do it.
I do have Alanuma's business card. I found it, by the way, Sean.
Oh, you found yours, okay.
Yeah. I can just put you guys into contact. Yeah, like me. I'm the one who's going to broker that deal.
That would be incredible. Joseph Volpe saves Nintendo.
Wow. Ooh, what a legacy.
Yeah, it struck me so well when he was talking about Morpheus. He had a Morpheus speech quite a while ago at the Computer History Museum in my area, and it was just his history, like how he's worked with both sides of the company on PlayStation. That's like exactly the kind of experience that I think needs to be heading Nintendo of America right now, or not Nintendo of America, Nintendo's Japanese division.
Yeah.
NCL, yeah.
Well, because it's like the brilliant thing about Iwata was he was an engineer who then transferred to the business side, but kept his toes and understood what it took and how the teams had to talk to each other, how creative had to talk to the engineers, and how the business side had to factor in. That's really rare quality, and I don't know that there's anybody else, and I don't know that they were even thinking about this. He was young, man. He was 55, like a baby. Seriously.
When it was announced, one of the reasons it was so shocking to me, not just because of the age, but because, we all suspected, we knew he was sick somehow, we all knew it had to be some sort of cancer, that's just how these things go. But when they released that updated thinner me of him, I thought that was like his little wink of saying, hey look, I beat it, I'm better, I'm so much better that I'm making fun of it and having a thinner me.
Right.
that like this is all the weight I lost because I was sick. And then I don't know what happened. Maybe it just took a turn for the worse because that happens. But that's why it was so shocking to me. I thought he'd, you know, like jokingly said, "Look, I'm good now."
Yeah, no, I bet it took them all by surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah, that stuff can move fast. It's hard to know.
And you know what I think is amazing too is the outpouring of love from across the entire gaming industry. Forget about Nintendo fans, right, and gamers. The industry figures from competing, you know, companies and studios, people who may have even had clashes with Nintendo in the past. Everybody was pouring out their love for this man, and it just goes to show you that he really was a special figure. And you have to appreciate that when they're around. I mean, I think everyone gets so caught up in being, which I think is a really bizarre attitude towards Nintendo in general, which is, here's a company that completely kickstarted and saved video gaming, right?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
we-
'Cause in
we
the
have-
80s. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
And
not.
they'll-
It was a bad thing.
Right. We all
Thanks,
agree.
Atari.
Their entire mission statement is, video games should be fun for everyone, okay? And we're like, oh my god, I hate you. I wish you got a business. You should die. Just make first-party software. I just want to make Xbox. What's wrong with you? And it's like, why are we so angry with this? What is wrong with us that we so much want to see this company fall apart, right? Is it that weird American thing where we like to build people up just to destroy them? Like, and then afterwards we'll like Britney Spears? Do we want Nintendo to be a robot that only moves its arms on stage with lots of like pyrotechnics? What are we asking for, people?
And then shaves its head to feign, what was that, insanity, so her kids can get taken away? That was the thing, right?
And we don't need to worry about that.
Celebrities, go away.
I don't want to get
It's not my job to worry about that stuff.
right.
Thankfully, oh my
Yeah,
god.
seriously.
Did you? That happens to me. Not to get off topic. I was at the supermarket yesterday. And I was looking at the tabloids, and I was thinking, those poor guys. That's their job.
Yep.
Yeah.
I couldn't. Anyway, yeah. I don't know what we're asking, Joseph. We're asking to stop having fun. Video games are not for fun. They are for art and aggression letting out.
Right. That seems to be the trend. I mean, listen, I completely sat out the beginning of 360 and PS3 era because I did not have the money at the time to buy those consoles, and I didn't want to play any of those games. I just remember being like, that looks like it would upset me and stress me out, and that is not why I sit down to play a video game. Okay, Elebits didn't stress me out on the Wii. Does anyone even remember what Elebits
Yeah, I remember Elements. It was cute.
Yeah, it was really cute. That was like, hey look, I'm like weird little creatures and grabbing objects and throwing them around with motion controls. You know? It was fun. It was light. It was easy.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I wonder how much the internet as a whole has obviously influenced how we talk about video games, because it influenced how we talk about everything.
Yes.
You know, our entire way of communicating as a species has totally changed when you have the internet. So the hate that we see every day, because hey, we live in this world where we get hateful comments flung at us and at things we love and at companies, at people. You know, all day we see that.
Yes.
There is love in there too. There's a lot of excitement and joy, but we see a lot of the negative as well. And yes, it is good to see people recognizing, you know, a great man for leading a great company to do some pretty great things in the video game industry. But I do think we could all learn a lesson from Iwata, from Nintendo's message of video games are fun. They're supposed to be fun. And we need to stop yelling at each other for just a second.
Right.
And just enjoy our goddamn video games. Like,
Right. Yes, that should be there. Remember, Play It Loud? The new tag should be, enjoy your goddamn game.
you sit still and you enjoy it. Yeah.
So, funny story. The first time when I was playing through Ocarina of Time, and I encountered the boss fight, I was playing it in between the times while I was supposed to be doing chores, and I was playing, and I got halfway through the boss fight, and I was like, man, this is taking forever. And then I was like, oh, I'll pause it, and I'll just come back. And I was like, why is my progress not saved? Why do I have to why can't I just kill her already? And it turned out that the progress wasn't saving, and I was just being stupid and young and a child. And much like how as an adult I can't trigger her to come down off the ceiling.
Huh?
I can't. She's not coming down. She's stuck. She's not coming off the ceiling.
Did you hit a bug?
I don't know. There's no Queen Goma in here though. I don't know what I should be doing.
I love Timothy playing this game where he's like, I don't know what to do. I mean, there are people that you realize can play this game blindfolded.
Oh
one
yeah.
hand behind their back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Speedrun it.
There's,
Yeah, I know.
Have you guys heard about the blind? This is off the top. There is a blind player out there. He's a blind person, and his favorite video game is Abe's Odyssey. Because you can play the whole thing just by sound.
That's amazing.
That's really cool.
So,
someone
knowing that, Tim, you suck at video games.
Oh! I have never once said I'm good at video games. I was good at one video game for a while, and that was Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4.
Yeah, can you look up, dude?
Oh, I did it. I got it.
Oh, okay.
Someone in chat said I can't see their name because they're in such like a bright green. It looks like Roz1281. Okay. So how can you hate on Nintendo at all after playing Mario 3D World? They're made of pure, concentrated happiness. Totally agree. Totally agree. Especially because you get to play Rosalina, and then once you beat the game, there's a whole other world to play. Yeah.
Yeah, they did that in 3D Land too, and it blew my mind.
Yep.
And that's like the real game.
Yes.
Everything else is just like 8 hours of training.
Right.
So
I like that. I mean, sorry, go ahead.
I just had my best friend who's in chat. He texted me to tell me to look up. So thank you, Josh, for that. Thank you, Josh. You're awesome. Joseph, you were saying about the secret levels and whatnot, as opposed to 8 hours of training and things of that nature.
Oh, well, the other thing I was going to say is, I think when you think about a game like Splatoon, what's interesting is the single-player campaign is somewhat hidden in the world. It's in the sewer grate in the hub, and it exists as a training. It's like 5 levels to train you to dominate when you play multiplayer and pick up additional weapons. And that boss fight, by the way, so the single-player campaign is like, nah, it's not so hard and it's not spectacular, but that boss fight is so epic. It is the most epic boss battle I've ever played in a video game in my entire life.
Really? Have you played Resident Evil 4?
I won't play those games.
Because the Del Lago from Resident Evil 4 is my favorite boss battle of all time.
Interesting. Okay, I'll have to look it up.
It's awesome.
I love going on YouTube and looking up endings to games I could never beat.
Well, it isn't the final boss. It is one of the area bosses. And it's so cool because I'm super into sharks and Jaws, and how they do the reveal. You're in this crappy boat. You're going over this dingy, dirty lake, and all of a sudden the camera pulls way back and you see this gigantic shadow under the boat, and it is awesome. It is one of the best boss reveals. Yeah. Oh, Jess, come on, it's the best. You know it is.
No, I disagree. Vehemently.
Speaking of boss battles, final boss fights, I happened to watch over the weekend. Everyone who knows me knows I have really terrible insomnia, and it was really late at night. And the only thing I do really late at night is watch Twitch, because it's the only thing that I can handle to occupy myself. And someone happened to be playing God of War 3 Remastered. And I never really played God of War 3. My friend had gotten it, played a little bit, and I was like, yeah, it's like every other God of War, but prettier. That game is gruesome.
Oh,
gruesome.
yeah. Oh, it's intensely gruesome.
Actually, the content is a little... I don't know that I needed that. But that end of that game was epic.
Oh, yeah.
It never stopped.
I liked how it turned into a 2D fighting game.
Right.
Yeah. When you're fighting Zeus, the camera goes, it's a 2D fighting game at that point.
Yeah.
Oh, weird.
And then you ascend into
Limbo or something.
Limbo, and then it's a really cool area. Like that and Alan Wake had similar endings in that sense.
You guys could be talking about DMC, it sounds like, too.
Yes, very much so.
Interesting.
I couldn't get past the energy drink boss fight in DMC.
Oh, that's my favorite.
I love that one. Yeah.
I'm bad. I'm bad at video games.
You guys, I beat Sunset Overdrive the other day, and I couldn't
Oh!
believe it.
Oh,
I
did
have
you?
not beaten that one.
How?
I was so impressed.
Good job.
Thank you.
Good job.
Because
I've been
suck at video games. So.
So
I've
that
been
one's
meaning.
easy, apparently.
Yeah. Well, it's not. It's not super difficult. The hardest thing is the camera. That's the biggest. That's the most difficult thing about that game.
Yeah,
Right.
I played maybe 3 hours of Sunset Overdrive, and then I turned it off for the night, and I haven't picked it up since, and I don't know why.
No, you're
Perhaps
right.
I liked it, yeah.
I'll tell you, that was my problem with it, was I'd play, and because of how seamless all the missions are, hours would go by, and I'd be like, gee, I gotta stop now. So I'd stop, and then when I would think of playing it again, the idea of bouncing the constant, like, kinetic motion, like, I was like, oh, no, it's gonna make me nauseous. I can't
Right.
handle it. And then I would be like, fine, I'll play, and then within 3 minutes, hours would have gone by, and
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, I need to stop again.
You
Except
did
for
that
that.
a few times, yeah.
Except
Yes, I
for the
did.
sound.
Yeah.
Except for the soundtrack, which you automatically turned down.
Yeah, so if you boot it up on my Xbox One, as soon as you press A to start my profile, the music disappears completely.
It's nice you can do that at least, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you play your own music in the background using like the Xbox Media Player? I don't have an Xbox.
I don't know, maybe.
No.
You should do that.
No,
I just
it's-
recently bought an Xbox One, so I don't really. All I can tell you is, wow! Thank God that dashboard update's coming, because holy hot mess, that is a stinky piece of caca.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah, it's bad. It's real
I just
bad.
can't get one. It's not happening. Xbox One with me. I can't.
I want to play Recore.
Oh, that's the Inafune one, huh?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, it's there needs to be more than one game for me. That's exclusive for me to get in, and isn't
There-
on PC. And Xbox hasn't done that for me.
I don't think there's anything coming out this fall that I'm super jazzed about on Xbox at all, which is sad. But I mean, I was a huge Halo person, but I'm kind of done with Halo.
Well, they don't have local co-op, so
That's yeah.
Yes.
Philip called it. No point.
absolutely, yeah.
I actually couldn't get into. I never got into Halo either. It's one of those games I always meant to go back with and get the collector's edition on the 360 and try it. But it's just like I just can't be bothered.
Well,
I
Joseph,
love Halo.
Joseph has never. Joseph, you recently bought your. I'm sorry, we're getting way off topic, but
Yeah, whatever.
Joseph, you bought the Xbox One, and it came with Halo: The Master Chief Collection, and you had never played a Halo game prior to that.
Yeah, so my little brother, and the benefits of having so many siblings was that we had every portable console, because each one of us would stake our claim to a different company or whatever. So my little brother had Xbox, and a good friend of mine had Xbox. So I had watched them, or sometimes would come upon them smack talking late at night, and I'd be like, why are they cursing to themselves? And I'd find them playing Halo, and I'd be like, this is so weird. I would tell them, I'd be like, this is so weird, you should go outside. Maybe like make some friends. Like, I was really mean about it. I couldn't understand it.
Wow.
Yeah, and so recently I got the Master Chief Collection because the bundle made sense. And I was like, I need to know what this Halo is about. And okay, I see it. It's a shooter. And I guess at the time, I understand at the time that online multiplayer with Xbox Live was a game-changing revelation. But now, for someone like me who hates shooters, it's like, okay, I'll never boot this up again. I'm going to delete it from the Xbox One, and I don't care about Halo 5. I don't care about 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay, but you should play Halo 4. It's the best one.
Yeah.
No, because it's all the same gameplay. I'm some dude.
Okay.
is.
A
That's
Yeah,
all
it's the same.
regarded,
Yeah, it's the
yeah.
same
Right,
gameplay.
but-
The story's
And-
good. The soundtrack is killer.
Yeah,
Alright.
it's not like how Nintendo can reboot Mario. And I just want everyone to know, growing up, I never called it Mario. I had an Uncle Mario, and it was Super
Yes!
Mario Brothers, okay?
Super Mario Brothers.
I say Mario because everyone goes, Mario, and I sound like a jerk when I'm like Mario, but
You sound
No,
like
I
you sound like Rick Moranis from Ghostbusters.
That's what I was gonna say. I say Mario Brothers because of Rick Moranis from Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Before I let us get all the way back into Nintendo real quick, I want to echo Joseph on Halo, and I want to let my elitism show through.
Oh boy.
All right, and this is because when Halo came out, I'd already been playing online multiplayer shooters on the PC for years, and I've been playing space ones too. So Halo came out, and my friends were getting them. I was like, this isn't special. This is like, I've already played lots of games like that, and so there was nothing about it that was new and unique, except for the fact PC Master Race. Except for the one thing I can't give it credit for that did seem special to me at the time was it figured out a control scheme with a controller that was okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, and that was something that no one had quite done before. Like shooters on the N64 were a big challenge.
Yes.
Like looking around with those C sticks, they worked, but they were still very hard. But they figured it out with the Xbox and Halo. So it's like everything you play, you got to thank Halo a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Let me link this back to Iwata and Nintendo for you. Now, sort of the philosophy of Nintendo has always been, and Iwata was so hard-lined about this, and, you know, bless that man, bless his memory for doing this, because he always believed that what set Nintendo apart was the fact that they were creating unique experiences you could not get anywhere else, because their hardware was created in tandem with their creative concepts, right? So they worked together. So imagine if they had the concept of Splatoon during the development of Wii U. What sort of controller we would have gotten for that. If Nintendo ever put their mind to being like, we're going to give you the best goddamn shooter experience of your life, I would probably become a crazy shooter fan and be like, kill everything, cover it in ink. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, come on.
It's so funny that even Nintendo's shooter isn't really a shooter.
Right.
I love that.
It's not violent. It's adorable.
It's beautiful too.
It's so amazing, and like I and the thing is, when they talked about it last year, I wasn't interested at all, and then they had the Splat trial thing, the demo, and it took like 10 minutes, and then I was like, I'm gonna have to buy this game.
Yep.
I don't have a choice.
So I have Splatoon, and I haven't really played it like since we streamed. I know that you guys are all about it, but it's like it doesn't do much for me. I gotta say.
I know,
and I'm very sorry.
Jess, I'm gonna talk real to you right now.
Let's hear it.
Uh-oh.
Give it to me, Joseph.
The
Phrasing.
That's the third time today.
I know.
The outfit options for your inkling
Tell me more.
are like, they're so fresh. Okay? So fresh.
That is appealing.
It's like that Cool in the Gang song. She's fresh.
It's so fresh. My inkling is so dope. I think I'm almost convinced that Nintendo went into my closet because they dress. Well, it's also like Tokyo Street style, and so I guess that kind of dovetails with what I like. But
Hold on. Are there Israeli fishing pants available as a clothing option in Splatoon?
no, but you know that shit. Excuse me, that stuff now. It was all over like Paris Fashion Week runways. So you guys are all gonna like 2 years. You're all gonna be wearing those style of pants, and you're gonna be like, this is like totally normal and amazing and comfortable. And I'm gonna be like, oh, guess what?
Hold on.
I wear skirts now.
Hold on.
Yeah, and they are comfortable and amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
Hold on. Kanye wears leather Israeli fishing pants.
Don't you say his name?
He's a Final Fantasy character.
He is. He really.
Joseph's got a point about the style in that game. It's 90s street punk in Tokyo, and it's amazing.
It's
You know,
amazing.
maybe
I
that's
do
why I
love
like it so
that.
much. It reminds me of being in the 90s. That
Oh my
whole
gosh.
game.
Well, yeah, you are king of the 90s, Sean.
What?
The
You are
music-
king of the 90s.
The music in the boss battle, as soon as it kicks off, when you even see who the boss is, you're like, wow. Nintendo really was just like, with their young developers on that team, they were like, do it. Go ahead, do it. And they were like, we're going to do it. I found a means, because the internet is the internet, I have all the Splatoon tracks. And I listened to some of them. I actually sent them to my friend at home and was like, these are like really good. And I know you don't have a Wii U. And he was like, oh my god, I love this. That's how
Squidmore,
great.
man.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I'll give it a
genre.
shot.
All right.
But
I
you
want
have
to the
to start
boss battle, yeah.
Start the campaign first.
Okay.
I don't agree.
Mm.
I don't agree. I played over 60 hours that game, and I'm only like a quarter of the way through the campaign.
Okay, just jump into multiplayer?
It depends. If you like the multiplayer kind of thing, jump into that. The campaign is just so slow to me because it's like, but it gets harder as you go, like any Nintendo game.
See, that's the
Yeah.
thing
Like-
is, I don't play I don't really do multiplayer, and that's why I was like, oh, it's a great multiplayer game. But I think that might be some of the reservation I've had with picking it up because I don't play multiplayer games very much.
But, Timothy, I loathe multiplayer games, and that Splatoon, it scratches an itch I didn't know I had.
Oh, so good.
Phrasing.
Yes.
But no, that's just like, that is the goal of any game that comes out. Like, especially an innovative game. You know, Call of Duty isn't trying to really find itches we don't know we have.
Not anymore. Not since 2007.
Right, they maybe once upon a time, not anymore. But yeah, like, that's amazing that you just realize, how did I live without this?
Yeah.
You know, that's really cool.
I mean, but you know what I worry about? I'm just going to throw this out there. So the Wii U was devised as this two-screen console concept that they didn't really do anything with other than off-screen TV play until recently. But now, I don't know how with the NX, if it doesn't have two screens, how they're going to be able, when they eventually port Splatoon 1, because obviously this is a franchise, how we're going to get that map. Because that map that map is like, that's like half of the game.
Mobile.
Yeah. Oh, you think? Yeah, but who's gonna...
I doubt Nintendo will do that.
I mean, that it's an option now with everyone having smartphones. I mean,
they could do. Yeah, I mean, eventually, what will probably happen if there aren't screens in every Nintendo console from here on out, then there'll be an app, and it'll be a second screen experience with an app that you'll have next to your controller, and that's what it'll have to be.
But how do you say that to, like, you know, I got the Wii U console for my niece and nephews last Christmas, and the youngest is 3, so obviously he doesn't play, but there's a 6-year-old and an 8-year-old. I'm not going to say to them, I got them Splatoon 2 and they're obsessed, and they have their friends come over and play it, but I'm not going to be like, hey, grab your mom's tablet or her iPhone and load up a map.
Yeah.
Right?
not yet.
No, I guess.
Not yet. But yeah, it's
That just seems so... That seems so... Oh my god, I've never watched the sunrise in this game before.
Oh, let's have a beautiful moment.
Yeah,
just
I'm
hang out
having
there.
that.
Get out of the water and have a beautiful moment.
Oh, I like this.
You know, while we're back on this, actually focusing on this game, there's a story I wanted to tell like an hour ago about this game and the power of Nintendo's nostalgia, right? And I don't mean like nostalgia now, watching this game. I mean like, I bought this game because of nostalgia. Like, this is the first game I ever pre-ordered, Ocarina of Time, because Nintendo, if you pre-ordered, you could get a gold cartridge, and gold cartridges were special.
Yep.
So this is the first of maybe only a dozen games I've ever pre-ordered was Ocarina of Time to get that gold cartridge, and somebody stole it from me.
Did you find them and kill their mailman? That's the only way.
not kill the person that stole it. You kill their mailman.
Oh yeah, nothing sends fear through you like not getting.
They're never gonna get their bills again. Their power will get shut off. It's
true.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. No, I lent my brother's friend was in traction because he crashed a van or something. I left him my N64 and he was only playing like Smash Brothers or Mario, and someone came in when he was sleeping and stole all the games except for the one he was playing, and he never noticed.
Damn. See, this is the benefit of being a completely anal. I was so anal about my gadgets growing up that I would never have disconnected a console to bring it to a friend's house. I never lent my games to anybody. I wouldn't let anyone touch when, you know, the PlayStation came out. I wouldn't let them touch the CDs because I didn't want their fingers on the bottom. I was very...
People didn't get it at the time when that was new. They didn't get it.
Okay, one thing I want to bring up real quick. Figbird in chat says, "Man, I never get a chance to catch these streams. It's nice to hear some of these voices again." Figbird, thank you for tuning in, and we are very happy to have you.
Figbird, you have a great handle because figs are like my favorite, and fig jam is even better.
And bird jam is the best.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
Dead
Where did
birds are
so
delicious.
Joseph, you and I are on the same page with apricot jam. So where does apricot fit into the hierarchy with fig jam for you?
So here's the thing. Fig jam is really sophisticated, okay? You don't make a sandwich with fig jam, okay? You get like a nice wooden board, a cheese board, you have a spread of cheeses, and you have your fig jam, and you do a thing, okay? Apricot, you can do that with anything. You can put that on Wonder Bread, although don't do it near me. You can you can put it in a bowl with some Italian Nutella, not American Nutella. This is what I'm talking about, right? I'm really sophisticated.
I have so much fig jam in my fridge right now.
Oh God.
Well, so this is the thing. I don't know how, but it was through something. I got like a gift basket sent to me somehow, but it came with black cherry jam, and it's really good. And it was in a really small container. And I'm going to disgust you right now, Joseph. Yesterday, I got really hungry, and I put it on a hot dog bun with crunchy peanut butter.
Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna hate on that.
With peanut butter.
If only because during my poor days when I was younger, I definitely had hot dog buns and jam, and thought to myself, "That's a meal."
Well, it was a thing of I haven't had time to go grocery shopping, and I was like, I need food, and this will hold me over for a little bit until I can find something.
I mean, look, it works, right? Bread, delicious fruit in a spreadable manner.
Yeah.
I mean, we were all children once. It's
Were
a
we?
delicious. Right. Well, I know my youth was robbed from me.
I know.
Oh.
Do you know what else? What other edibles that fruit can make? Wine. Great sweet wine.
Oh,
That
wine.
is true.
And I definitely have a glass that was just set in front of me.
Is that from your lovely boyfriend?
My lovely boyfriend just...
It looks like PewDiePie.
He does look like PewDiePie.
Oh God, I hate that. Oh, I hate hearing
He's
it.
a cuter PewDiePie even.
Yeah,
Take that, internet.
I did that for Timothy's benefit because I know he hates that. The pronunciation of the name, not your boyfriend.
Cartman, brah! That's all I hear when I hear PewDiePie! I want to break things.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
you
no.
would do that in a second. Shame gone. I would.
Well, I mean, you've been paying attention the last hour and a half, right, Sean? I haven't done anything like that yet.
You've screamed a few times. It's very
I have
cute.
screamed, but it's
Put
different.
a camera on your face, you're set.
You guys,
I am very
streaming
handsome.
late at night,
Look, man.
shirtless, just to make more money.
Do it.
Tim,
No, actually, Twitch updated its
if-
policies.
Oh, that's
If
right. You
JXE
can't do
revenue
that.
would go up 1,000,000% because you said "Sim the face" or something.
By the way, Durgan Rook in chat. Where's Anthony? Anthony left us, which we're all very sad about, but we're happy for him because John Agnello is amazing. And he is at Games Radar Plus with other lovely folks like Ludwig and Susan, and they are former joystick people. And Sam, and we love them all. So if you need to catch Anthony, he's been doing a lot of video stuff with Comic-Con for Games Radar Plus.
Yeah, he's been doing some really funny stuff.
Yeah, and a silk smoking jacket. I think it's.
Oh my God, it's the best.
Yeah.
Little do you know, I'm wearing a silk smoking jacket right now.
Ooh.
I'm wearing
It's a lie.
I'm wearing a pink plaid tie and a white button up. I'm really prepared for today.
You dressed up for this
Why are
stream.
you guys so
I
well
did.
dressed? I am wearing gym shorts and a t-shirt from high school.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm in
I had
athletic
a-
shorts.
I had a date earlier today, so I'm still wearing clothes from that. So
You
yeah.
know, you just keep rubbing that in.
I haven't heard anything about this date.
I'm not talking about this on the stream because last time I
that's
talked about
embarrassing.
things like that, I was proposed to on Twitch. Somebody asked if I had a girlfriend, or if I had a hot wife or girlfriend, and when I was like, no, I don't. Actually, I'm single. Then they proposed to be my girlfriend, and I was like, this is really strange.
So you're still ashamed of me, Timothy?
Joseph, it's
Oh.
a complicated issue. It really is.
I can change. I can change for you.
We're going to go into a different. We're going to talk about something else.
I want to talk more about the bow tie. It's that kind of thing.
It's not a bow tie. It's a plaid. It's a pink plaid tie.
Oh, if it were a
No.
bow tie, then
It's-
we'd have something to talk about.
Then
No,
we
it's
would
the
get-
tie. It's the
no
tie I
bow
wore
tie,
on.
no conversation.
It's the tie I wore on day 1 of day 0 of E3.
Hey, do you
On
think
camera.
Iwata wore bow ties on dates?
Yes.
He'll
Yes.
He seems like the type of dude. I bet he tied them too, not a clip-on.
Yeah, he didn't have one of those pre-knotted ones. He was. Yeah, Iwata was a very snappy man, and I would imagine that he didn't. He did pretty well for himself in terms of the sartorial game.
Sartorial, yeah. It's
Sartorial
fancy for
game.
Clothing.
Yeah.
It's a big word.
I mean,
Yeah.
should I have said
$10 word.
should I have said couture instead?
No, because that is a misappropriation of what couture means. Don't you
Okay.
ever say the word couture in my presence.
I
What does
did.
it
That's
mean?
why I said sartorial.
Whatever.
That's more appropriate. But still, why are you showing off?
I know.
Yeah, why show it off?
I read GQ, guys. Gosh, pay attention to me.
Talk like a human. Thanks.
Yeah, just say clothes.
Do you guys remember? Do you remember when you didn't know who Iwata and Miyamoto and who these big names were? Like, can you remember back to the time before you were cognizant? Because I can. I can remember the first time I saw Miyamoto and I didn't even know who the heck he was.
Oh my god.
No, see, I was
saw him in person.
No. This was like in a video on the early days of video on the internet, and like it was a joke that he was in this video, but they didn't say who it was. You were just supposed to know, and I had to look it up.
See,
You know,
no, because I was a lifelong Nintendo Power subscriber, so I had a pretty good idea of who Iwata was and who Miyamoto were and whatnot. So from a very early age. So I'm going to say that I've always kind of known who they were.
I've always known who Miyamoto was, and I became aware of Iwata when he took over as president. Because I remember when I found out, I was like, who this? Who this? Because I hear engineer, and every part of my body puckers, because I'm like, oh no, you won't understand anything. You're going to be rigid, and your mind's not going to be expansive. You don't understand creativity.
Well, he was also the first one that wasn't in the family,
right?
The founding family. So
well, maybe that's why Iwata's famous phrase was, "Please understand." Oh.
Well, Yamauchi wouldn't have even said that. He would have been like, I don't know, deal with it.
Yeah, hashtag deal with it.
Well, how about I'm gonna play Go and drink some whiskey and not play any of the games my company makes.
Please. Yeah.
Because that's what he did.
Yeah.
Guys, I don't know how to get up this stairway without being seen. I think
you don't. I don't think. Isn't there?
Do I go around the back? There's a river or something.
There's a cliff there. You go up that cliff. You don't go up the stairway. Keep walking. No, that way. Not that way. Left. Oh. God.
Well, we're seeing his stream delayed.
Yeah, I know. So to the left of the stairway, there's a cliff that goes around the corner, and there's a vine that goes up that cliff. I think.
Oh no, it's not a cliff. There's bricks.
It's nighttime.
There's stones.
Well, whatever. There's a thing you climb over there, and then you go over it, and then you.
What a terrible night to have a curse.
So, like, on the real, what they should, like, if, like, PlayStation or, like, Xbox controlled the Zelda IP right now, he would have just sniped all the guards.
Well, I would say that
sniping the guards in the head and then getting into the castle. That is not Nintendo.
I would say that I don't know. I would say that that Sony and Microsoft are actually pretty respectful of their franchises in terms of not making them into things they necessarily weren't. Like, you don't... Well, never mind. I just remembered that there's a Halo RTS.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Man.
Yeah. Never mind. Forget that I talk. It's easy to do.
I will say this, though. And Sean was there, so he knows. But when he and I were in the room with Aonuma 2 E3s ago, we talked. I mean, I definitely was just like, I'm gonna take. I don't know if I'll ever meet you again, but I'm gonna take this opportunity to tell you what I need from Zelda. And I remember being like, I need to play as Zelda. I don't care about Link. I just want to be her. I want to use the Triforce. I want to use the Triforce Wisdom. I want to shoot things with energy magic. I want all the stuff. Don't give me that Princess Peach game with emotions. I want some, like, for real deal wrecking power. I want to scare people. Okay. I want to own Ganon.
That's what Hyrule Warriors was for.
Yeah.
No,
it wasn't.
No.
Yeah, kid. I don't need your second string. Like, no.
I want, like, from the ground up, EAD working on this. Give me a badass Zelda, and I want that thing to start. I want, from the moment I press start and it kicks in, I want to be shooting power bolts and levitating and wrecking shit.
And you know, I have a really good name for it too.
Ooh, what do you want to call it?
The Legend of Zelda.
Oh.
Burn.
Snap.
What about Legendary Zelda?
Oh, God.
Zelda mother... Wait, no.
Where were you going to go with that, Jess?
That was it. It just cut off there. It just stops. You have to say it like you're going to say something.
Just Zelda. No legend. Just... This isn't a legend. This is fact. All right.
Yeah. No
Zelda,
legend. No
facts.
Those are the facts.
Those are the facts.
So, that's an insight that we should explain.
Probably.
Yes.
The fact.
Let's talk about this.
So, for everyone listening in chat, we were at E3, Timothy, Jess, and I, along with other lovely people from staff on Engadget, and we would get to the secret press room, as we call it, the preferred real press room, very early before it would open, and just essentially queue up, which the reps, the staff there didn't like. And one morning, there was a very prideful staffer who was very emphatic about the schedule of times and days during the week when the press room would be open. And rather than say, you can refer to the placards for the schedule, she had a whole of her speech that she would repeat ad nauseum and go, "Those are the facts! Those are the facts! Those are the facts, people!" They weren't facts.
I hit on this meme, I didn't even know.
Hashtag
you were
amazing.
in it. Yeah.
Hashtag amazing.
I'm real life retweeting the Zelda conversation.
Yes!
Do it.
I remember that that meeting though, and I do remember at the end how upfront you were. I was a little taken aback. It's like, what is he saying to Alan?
Oh yeah, I did not care. I was just like, I will never probably see you again. This is it.
Yeah.
You just
Loved it.
You just got up in there. Yeah, he was super great to talk to.
Yes.
How do you guys balance that? Because there are a few times where I'll meet someone or I'll be scheduled for an interview with someone and it's like, you changed my life.
Yes.
Let's talk about business. How do you guys handle that? Do you go through a process? Yeah.
I'll tell you, because I have a recent example of that. When I interviewed Shu at E3,
Oh, right, yeah.
Edgar can attest to this because he was there taking photographs. But the first thing I said to Shu, we were in a hotel room just sitting across the table. He was drinking from his coffee mug. And before we started, I just said, I'm really glad that I have this chance to talk with you. And no joke, I said this. I'm like, you're the missing piece of my puzzle.
Oh.
And he looked at me weird, and I'm like, I've spoken to Richard Marx, and I've spoken to Anton. These are all people that worked on Morpheus. I was like, but you are the one I haven't spoken to yet, and so this brings me full circle. So I'm so happy for this opportunity. And then he smiled and he was like, oh, don't worry about it, la la la.
Aww.
He's so easy to talk to.
Right. And then I went straight into business mode. But yeah, I know it's me, Jess. It's hard.
Yeah.
I don't get too starstruck. The closest thing I can think of is when I met LeVar Burton, but came to speak at Expand a couple of years ago. And this is a guy that helped me learn how to read, so kind of had an influence on me. But I didn't have a chance to be weird and starstruck about him because he was so ridiculously genuine. He was talking about reading Rainbow and launching it on stage, and I met him right after he came back off stage. And he was talking to me and my wife, and he looked at us with the most realistic, worried, passionate eyes. Do you think people understood what I was trying to tell them? It's really important. I really hope they understood. He was so genuine that I didn't have time to be oh my gosh. I'm like, I had to reassure him. I'm like, yes, LeVar, I think they got it.
Oh my god. The thing of it, he was a very sweet man at that Expand, and I will say though, he's incredibly earnest.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I believe it though.
Looking in his eyes when he said that, I believed it.
Okay.
When he asked us back there, he seemed legitimately worried that people didn't understand how important it was to have these programs to get excited about reading. And so I believed him in that moment.
Now, when you say
after he reassured you, did you hug him and cry on his shoulder?
I'm not that emotional of a guy.
Well, I was going to say, when you kept saying looking into his eyes, you said this multiple times. Is it just you were taken aback by being able to see his eyes?
Oh, that's
maybe. They were beautiful eyes. They stand out to me. That's my memory with them.
That's a Star Rider reference. You know what I mean?
Star Rider?
What?
Hold on, don't tell him. I want to hear what he thinks this is.
No, I conflated Ghost Rider with Star Trek.
What?
I'm trying to figure out where to go from here, guys.
Wasn't he Georgi? I don't know.
So, guys,
right?
Guys,
I want to hear the rest of it. Describe this program he was on.
No, it's the Star Trek show, and
there you go.
Couldn't see things, or did he had an accordion on his eyes?
What the what?
Oh man, if I didn't have work to do tonight, I would be making fan art of this right now.
Oh god, guys, I don't know what to do from here.
Joseph's opinion.
Guys, this is the problem. I don't know where to go from here. I got these two guards looking here. Sean.
I play this game and so Me in chat? Oh, Sean in chat. Good, because I don't remember. It's been too long since I played.
By
Sean
the way,
in
let's
chat.
just say to chat, hey chat, is there anything that you guys want us in particular to discuss? Otherwise, we'll
asked
just
that earlier.
Yeah.
we'll just chat because we like each other.
Yeah.
So
And Baron Moneygrubber, Tim has not played Ocarina of Time before.
What?
Really?
Yes, I have.
As far as I know. I thought you said you hadn't.
No,
Or is that
no.
me not playing Wind
No,
Waker?
he
That's
said,
you
he
not
said
playing
he got,
Wind Waker.
like they took his internet away instead of Ocarina of Time.
Oh,
he was
that's
so relieved.
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
He's just not very good right now.
No,
Okay,
I
so
just haven't
Baron
played this
Moneygrubber,
game in
he's played
ages.
before. Sorry. Okay.
I just
Been a
don't know where
while.
I need to go. I think this might. I can't go in. That door's not open.
These are really terrible guards. They're just kind of staring at this.
Yeah,
kid.
like they're like, eh. They have narrower cones of vision than anybody in Metal Gear Solid ever thought of having.
I do
Don't
like
get
the,
too close.
I like the hip cock though, and they're like just sort of like gently like pushing out the knee like they're in the Single Ladies video. They're like, oh, Single Ladies.
Oh,
See it? No, right along here.
I'll
Talk-
Wait, what? I was real life retweeting. It's live now. Go ahead.
I just keep getting booted out of the castle.
Talk about Ash versus Evil Dead.
I don't have anything to say about that, other than one of the people on that show looks like a former coworker of ours, Alexis Santos.
Who's an adorable, lovely individual.
Is
He has
that
an
the one
amazing
that was
voice.
at E3?
No,
Was he?
this
Oh,
year.
he. I thought it was a girl.
No, that's a lot of people have that problem. When I first met him, I called him Alex for a week. It took me a while to get used to it.
I know, I called him Patricia, and it was like,
Wait, what?
Why did you call him Patricia?
Jokes.
I didn't. Thank you, Jess. You can sit front row at my next show.
Thank you.
It's in my. Oh, won't go there.
No,
Guys.
he was on before. You never met him.
Guys, I'm struggling here real bad.
Look, it's just cool. Walk to the
Chat,
left.
help us.
I'm walking to the left.
Where's your buddy that was texting you the answer
Forward
there?
and
I don't know, Josh. Why are you not texting me?
Hey,
Tell me-
can we make this like Twitch plays, JXE streams plays, Ocarina of Time?
Mhm.
Because I'm totally into that. If we could hand off playing and just talk, I'd be soups.
amazing.
Yeah.
Oh God.
You should hire someone to do
We
that.
could
Yes.
do that with PlayStation. When we stream on PlayStation, we just hand the controller over.
Oh, that's right. We should
Yeah.
experiment with that. That's like a really like very modern thing to do.
We
Hey,
can do
someone really cool just followed me on Twitter.
Who dat?
Sean Buckley.
Whoa!
I just
Guys-
followed it back.
Who keeps saying Anthony? Why is someone saying Anthony's ruining yet another stream?
Yeah, Crow Die Slow. I'm not sure what you're talking about here, buddy.
Which one of us do you think is Anthony, dude?
They probably
Yeah.
do.
'Cause Anthony's not an Engadget employee anymore.
And he doesn't
Unlike
sound like
Mike
any of us,
Bethel.
does he?
Unlike
and,
Mike
and
Bethel.
he never ruined anything. He made it great. He made it sparkle.
Engadget employee Mike Bethel.
Oh yes, we can't talk about that.
No.
Oh God, I'm getting booted out of this castle again. This is really embarrassing. It's a good thing that the stream's almost done now. I want to say thank you to everybody that's tuned into chat and to the stream, because you guys have made this stream. Well, you're why we're here. We're not doing this as much as it sounds like we enjoy each other's presence. That's all a sham. We don't
Yeah.
really. We hate each other.
How did you have to go there?
Ooh, this is about fun, damn
This
it!
was about a tribute to Iwata and
Okay,
love. And
all right.
fun.
I'm lying. We all like each other a whole lot.
Now
That's
they
how.
don't believe you.
Oh God! Ah!
Lost all credibility for the entire website. We're gonna have to shut down.
Oh.
Thanks.
I mean, this wouldn't be the first time a commenter. Well, I mean, this would be the first time that a coworker had accused me of it. To say commenters accuse me of it all the time.
Of destroying the site.
Oh yeah, that.
It does happen.
Remember when you had that Kanye West, like 10 times Kanye West dressed like a Final Fantasy character post, Jess?
Which I did not come up with on my own, so everyone stop sending me angry letters
Oh,
about it.
there we go. You know what it was? It was the nighttime and the guards were frozen in place.
Ah.
That's
hate
right.
that.
They don't.
Yeah.
Right. In
Yeah.
fact, like I think the entire perspective is going to be different when you go in now.
Yup.
Yeah, it's been a while since I played this. I have not played this game since it came out on the 3DS. Oh,
Can
there
I-
you go.
You know what's really interesting about this game and linking it to Wind Waker is that, first of all, the first time I never played this game. I only watched my best friend play it because it was too complex for me. But Jabu Jabu, I'll never forget like what a revelation that whole level design was, and being like, it was trippy, it was freaky, it was weird, it was so cool, it was gross. but in a cool way.
Did you play the Master Quest version where there were cows sticking out of the wall?
No.
There are cow heads sticking out of the wall. Those are the door buttons. Just freaking cow heads. Yeah, it's a real thing.
That's interesting. See, that's what I like about Nintendo. They'll just take a left turn.
Yeah, that Master Quest was bizarre. It was really difficult too. Not only just because it was different from what we'd played before, but because it was just bizarre. I had a friend, amazingly smart person, very good at video games. He had to stop in the water temple of the Master Quest because it was too hard for him.
I mean, Aonuma has even said how embarrassed he is by that. That it was just super difficult.
Yeah, and the thing is my friend that quit it, he played through the original water temple without a strategy guide. So I mean, he was pretty up there, right? He couldn't do the Master Quest version of the water temple.
Water temple wasn't that hard.
You know,
throwing down the gauntlet, Sean.
Master Quest one maybe, but I mean, I never had a strategy guide. I beat Ocarina of Time. It was the most boring temple, but it wasn't hard.
Whew.
Okay, so all right. So what has been your guys' favorite Legend of Zelda temple or dungeon?
Oh,
I'll start off. Mine is the forest one from Wind Waker because it's just beautiful. It is absolutely gorgeous.
What's the one in Ocarina with the big fat dude? Or maybe it's like a turtle or something. Oh my god. I haven't played this game in forever, obviously. But you're going in a circle. Oh my god. I'll find it. I'll find it online.
There's a turtle that is temple, I think, in Majora's Mask.
I might be confusing them.
Like it comes up out of the water. I can't think of any specific temple, but I think it was probably something from Wind Waker because I remember playing that game being so blown away by how great all the temples in that game were.
Yeah, it was a little easier, but the dungeon design was really good.
Right. I actually like the water temple in that game quite a lot. We have the boat inside the temple.
Yeah.
Am I the only person, by the way, that I cannot stand water levels in Mario? I can't stand water levels in Zelda. It's hard. It's too hard.
They usually change the gameplay in something so you have this one level that's different from everything else in the game for seemingly like no reason, and it's usually good enough to make it better.
I don't know. I might, if I'm going with like my favorite dungeons, I'm gonna go Link's Awakening.
Yes, that's my favorite Zelda by far.
That's my favorite Zelda. Wind Waker would be number 2, but Link's Awakening, especially the Windfish and how bizarro that whole thing was. When I was a little kid, that blew my mind.
I just love the world because like the trading game. I love doing the trading stuff.
Deku Toad. Is that him?
What?
Deku Toad?
The Deku Frog.
Jess, I think you've been licking a Deku Frog and now you're tripping out on
that's Twilight
things.
Princess. Nope. Yeah. So I'm conflating my
you're
Zelda
hallucinating.
character.
You're hallucinating.
I love how no one ever will mention Skyward Sword. That's like an unspoken rule.
Well,
I
just got bored. I tried to play it and I just didn't keep going.
I didn't like Twilight Princess all that much.
Yeah, I didn't like that at all.
No,
it felt like it was trying way too hard to be an Ocarina sequel, and it wasn't very good. Like I established this earlier in the stream, I loved Wind Waker, and I wanted more Wind Waker, and then that didn't happen, and then we got Twilight Princess, and I was like, all right, I guess.
Well,
I mean,
but it's like the whole mob mentality that's against Nintendo right now. Like they got slaughtered for what turned out to be a masterpiece, and especially in retrospect, everyone's like, Wind Waker was brilliant. But at the time, I mean, people wanted to destroy the entire company because it was cel-shaded. Like, without even understanding the technology behind it.
I would say that Legend of Zelda ages and has held up the best of all of them, especially in terms of graphics.
I mean, I rebought it for Wii U and played through it again.
Yeah,
until I got to the fetch quest for the Triforce. And
I'm stuck there too. I don't know. What to do.
So this is the thing on the GameCube version. I got all the way to the end, but somehow I did not. The game didn't kind of point me in the direction to pick up the light arrows. So I got all the way to the end. I got into where it goes black and white, and there's that big plot twist that I'm not going to talk about because it's still relatively, the re-release came out not that long ago.
Yes.
And I couldn't destroy the enemies that were in black and white because I didn't have the light arrows. And I went back to the location. There was a glitch or something, and the light arrows were not available for me, and I could not finish the game on GameCube.
That's weird.
That's very weird.
So Yaddle
Yaddle is our favorite. One of our
favorites.
Really?
Don't tell
I did not know that.
He's my favorite.
Well, he
Gosh.
loves the Eagles Towers in Link's Awakening, and yeah, that was a really good level.
Yeah.
You had to knock down the floor and change the level in order like that. That was a really cool level. He's totally right.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Although,
so
I will say A Link Between Worlds was a
So
pretty solid
Yeah.
like gameplay experience. Start to
what about
finish.
Spirit Tracks? Nobody talks about Spirit Tracks ever.
I never played it.
I
because
didn't beat that one.
I didn't
I
want to
played-
use a stylus.
Oh, but the stylus controls in those games is actually a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I
Okay.
didn't think I would like it, but it turns out that I really do. You know? It kind of reminds me of this PC game that no one knows called Silver, which it's like the stylus is like how you swing your sword that had like the mouse was the same thing. It's I don't know, it feels really interactive.
That sentiment, like, perfectly kind of sums up Nintendo. I didn't think I'd like it, but
Yeah, I didn't
exactly.
think I'd like it, but it turns out I did. And that's this is also something that's going to be in that piece later on. That's how I feel about everything Nintendo. Like, everything Nintendo's did, I like since N64, after N64, I thought, oh, that's dumb. Oh, no, wait, it's great. Oh, that's dumb. Oh, wait, it's amazing.
Can we
how
talk
it
about the
works.
N64 controller for a little bit? Because I really like the N64 controller.
yeah.
And playing this game on the gamepad, it makes me really wish I had an N64 controller to play it with. Because the controller is as much of the experience as the game is, I would say.
Maybe I'm a weirdo. I did like the N64 controller because I love the oddity of those 3 prongs on it.
Yeah.
But I really love the gamepad on Wii U. I love it. I have a Pro controller and I never touch it.
Joseph, I have big hands, okay, and we've established just my hands are gigantic.
You like to talk about this
Yeah,
all
yeah.
the time, Timothy.
I do.
It's as if you're trying to infer something.
I also have big gloves as well. That's what I'm trying to infer, nothing else.
Okay.
But it's not comfortable for me. Like the controller is big, right? I thought that would help out. But it's not super ergonomic. My hands don't fit well underneath it. I don't like where the face buttons are placed for the X, B, A, and Ys. I wish they were where the right stick was, and I don't like the
Get out of here with
gamepad.
that Xbox bias. Get out of here.
Yeah, that's
Hold
what I'm
on.
saying. I don't.
Hold
maybe
on.
should
I
get
love
an
the
Xbox Elite controller.
Hold on. Hold on.
maybe
I loved the
Timothy.
GameCube controller. I loved the GameCube controller. So we can establish. I just don't like the Wii U controller, the gamepad.
You know
at
who
all.
else? You know who else loved the GameCube controller? Miyamoto. He slaved over that thing. He went on record in the press saying it was going to be the standard going forward, and then it disappeared. And it actually is pretty good. But
Yeah,
There's a
it's
strong
really
argument
good.
there, actually. The GameCube controller does. I didn't even realize until just now. I always credited the offset joysticks to the Xbox, but no, that's
No, the GameCube had it.
Yeah.
Also, that had that gigantic A button that you could not miss.
he had the bean buttons.
Yeah.
Beam.
See, that's the thing that was what was really cool with those triggers, right? They had that locking mechanism, not locking
Yes.
mechanism, but there was that
They were
ridge in them.
analog. Right.
two-stage,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it was great. And I remember when they were talking about, because the reason why I wanted a GameCube entirely at launch was for Rogue Squadron, because I loved Rogue Squadron on N64. And
Yeah.
when they were talking about how you could click it in and that's how you would lock in like cruising speed on your crafts, I was like, oh my god, that's super cool. And those controllers were really good. Like that, I don't know, I really liked that controller a lot. An awful lot. It was really good. Way
think
better
it's
than the
interesting.
Xbox One controller. Going
I
on
was
the
gonna
record
say,
because that controller's garbage.
Isn't it interesting that like PlayStation and Xbox, like, they don't really revolutionize their control schemes?
No, but if you look at it this way, though, that's why playing PlayStation 3 games via PlayStation Now on your PlayStation 4 feels fine, because they're muscle memory-wise,
Except
they're
no
the same
one's
controller.
playing it.
No, that's because PlayStation Now is a long way from being acceptable, I would say.
Well, you
For
can't innovate
people that-
the standard.
No.
Right.
And like Xbox One. Now PS4, the DualShock 4 is a really good controller.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Aside from the battery life.
Yeah, the DualShock 3 was not so much.
No.
Yeah.
Guys, we're clicking over. I let us go a little bit over because we had some tech difficulties to start, but we're going over 2 hours right now, guys. We gotta wrap things up a little bit.
Oh, people have to have dinner and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm
Ugh.
having too much fun.
We all have writing to do.
We have a lot. Some of us
Yes.
have planes to catch tomorrow.
Yes.
Beaches to sit on.
Beaches to bronze on. I'm gonna be so Mediterranean looking
Get out of
in a day.
Oh,
It only takes me literally 20 minutes on the beach to turn completely caramel.
So
Oh,
what do you do
shut
for the
up,
rest of your
stop.
vacation?
What'd you say?
What do you do for the rest of your vacation?
Gonna drink a lot.
20
Okay.
minutes of sun. And
Yeah.
And then a week of just straight booze.
And then it's just me in various people's bathtubs crying and drinking.
Perfect.
I don't know what you do for a good time, but
It's what Iwata would have wanted.
All right, and with that, everybody, I'm going to close this out, and I want to say thank you once again to everybody showing up. Jessica, thank you for joining us. Joseph, and Sean, I think this was your first stream with us. Period.
It's totally my first stream. I'm so excited.
We deflowered you to Ocarina of Time.
Yikes.
okay.
Okay.
That was
All right.
wrong on just about every level, and I'm
Because he was
offended, and I'm not coming back now.
Because he's,
Oh.
he's wearing a sports jacket, and in the lapel there was a carnation, like when you go to the prom. So what it meant was we're
This is getting
taking
intense.
the flower out of his pocket.
We're not even in the same room.
Oh God.
Okay, I
Oh
just want the
wow.
lawyers to know that.
Yeah. Wow. The T slippage has run rampant on this closing. But thank you once again, everybody that's joined us in chat. We will be back tomorrow with not Ocarina of Time, The Legend of Zelda: Wind Waker HD on the Wii U. So please tune in to see us play that tomorrow. And with that, have an excellent rest of your afternoon.
And thank you, Satoru Iwata.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Iwata-san.